Opening credits. Polyvagal Theory, a self-help guide to freedom from anxiety, depression, and trauma. Written by John Ross. Narrated by Ray Stevens. Introduction. The Polyvagal Theory furnished us with a more advanced comprehension of the science of danger and safety, one dependent on the inconspicuous interplay between the instinctive encounters of our own bodies and the voices and faces of the individuals around us. It clarifies why a benevolent face or a relieving tone can drastically modify the manner in which we feel. It explains why realizing that we are seen and heard by the notable individuals in our lives can cause us to feel quiet and safe, and why being overlooked or expelled can hasten rage responses or mental breakdown. It helped us comprehend why adjusting with someone else can move us out of fearful and disorganized states. To put it plainly, Porges' theory makes us look past the impacts of fight or flight and put social relationships up front in our comprehension of trauma. It likewise proposed new ways to deal with mending the emphasis on reinforcing the body's framework for regulating arousal. Polyvagal theory can follow its underlying foundations back to some of Porges' initial work in 1969, with heart rate variability and an inquiry regarding how the tone of the vagus nerve could be a marker of versatility and risk for babies. In 1994, after numerous long stretches of investigation, he introduced the polyvagal theory. You've most likely heard that we have two branches in our nervous system, the parasympathetic and the sympathetic. The activity of the sympathetic nervous system is to stimulate us to make a move, fight or flight, in the midst of hardship by expanding our heart rate, blood pressure, and so forth, and putting pointless capacities, like the digestive system, on hold. The parasympathetic system was set to work in resistance of this to restore the body to homeostasis when the apparent risk had passed. Intensely simplified, Porges gives a progressively intricate comprehension of the ANS by recognizing a three-section varied level system that keeps the sympathetic system and subtleties to particular pathways of the vagal nerve, significant nerve superhighway that is the fundamental segment of the parasympathetic system. The dorsal vagus brings us out of association into immobilization. The ventral vagus brings us into co-regulation and connection through the social engagement system. He further depicted how these three systems cooperate and laid out a coherent system of regulation, social engagement, and communication that works inside the autonomic nervous system. Within this system, he noticed that the parasympathetic system is both our system of connection and for immobilization, which stretches out past what we recently comprehended. Our nervous system developed to assess risk in the environment and to quickly identify features in others of danger, safety, and life threat. Be that as it may, to help out others and to create personal connections, our nervous system needed to distinguish both safe individuals and safe spots through the neural components of a social engagement system. Explicit element detectors in our cerebrum house cautious procedures, and we can relax in the arm of another without being aggressive or vigilant. Intimacy can possibly happen when a defensive system is housed and the social engagement system is initiated. This session will depict highlights of the social commitment framework, how it includes neural pathways regulating the heart, vocal intonation, facial expression, and the extraction of human voice from background sounds. From a clinical point of view, this session will accentuate the significance of our face, voice, and heart in arranging states that empower intimacy and trust. Traumatic symptoms are not brought about by the event itself. They emerge when residual vitality from the experience isn't released from the body. This vitality stays caught in the nervous system, where it can unleash devastation on our bodies and psyches. Peter Levine, Ph.D., author of In an Unspoken Voice, How the Body Releases Trauma and Restores Goodness, distributed in 2010. PTSD includes a basic dysregulation of arousal modulation at the brainstem level. PTSD patients experience the ill effects of standard autonomic hyperexcitement and lower resting HRV, heart rate fluctuation, contrasted with controls, recommending that they have expanded thoughtful and diminished parasympathetic tone. Bessel van der Kolk, MD, in comments at the New York Academy of Sciences 2006. Samkhya theory, from which yoga develops, separates reality into two classes, the knower, unadulterated cognizance, Purusha, and the known creation, Prakriti. The gunas are the three powers that underlie the entirety of creation. They are tamas, or immobility, inertia, rajas, or action, sattva, or balance, clearness, essence, awareness. The interplay of these powers is the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?